What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another live stream. This is a really exciting one. We're going to have some incredible tutorials on the stream. We're going to talk about last week's trick. We're going to have some great performances. I'm really excited. Let's get going right now. Yo, what is up? I'm super excited to be back on another live stream. I'm really excited that you guys are here as well. The comments are lighting up. I'm really excited for that, as always, to see you guys active and excited. So feel free to comment throughout the stream. As you guys know, I engage with the comments. I try to keep an eye on the comments, but there's a few things we don't want in the comments. First of all, let's keep the conversations pertinent to what is going on the stream. If you see a performance you like, let me know in the comments. You see something that amazes you, let me know in the comments. You have any questions, let me know in the comments, and we will try to get to all of them. Well, not all of them, but I'll try my best. There's a few things we don't want in the comments. You guys know this, but absolutely no bullying in the comments. Whether you're bullying somebody who's performing, whether you're bullying somebody else in the comments, there's a no bullying policy on the entire channel. If you do that, you will get banned for life from the channel. We are trying to build a nurturing, supportive place here for everyone to come and grow together, no matter what level you're at. So I don't tolerate that whatsoever. Also, another thing is, do not scream out methods in the comments. If you see something that you recognize, it's pointless to yell out how it's done. You're not helping anybody, and it just really discourages people. If you do that, I will put you on timeout. So no yelling out methods. Also, new rule, no spamming the comments, please. We've had a few of those over the last couple of weeks. Please don't spam the comments. I want to be able to see what people are actually saying, and we don't want... Look at that. Chahat is already on the point. Always great to see you, Chahat. She knows the rules. She's at like every stream. She's been in about 80 of them. So yeah, there it is. No bullying, no spamming, and don't reveal methods. I guess that sums it up really well. We have some exciting guests today for you guys. My special guest is someone I'm really excited to have on the channel. I think he's only physically been on the channel like once before in a vlog, but he's someone I really admire, and you guys know that because I always recommend his videos. And I also have a lot of tutorials for you guys this week. We're going to talk a lot about last week's video and some tips and tricks for that. So super excited to bring our first guest in. So our first guest is only 13 years old. He's the youngest performer that we're going to see today. He's from Toronto, just like, well, from Canada, just like me, more specifically from Toronto. I'm really excited to see his routine. Let's welcome everybody to the stream. Ben, how are you, my friend?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great, Ben. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited to see this. Are you ready to perform?
I am ready to perform.
All right, let's do this so everybody could see you, and take it away.
All right, so I have a deck of cards, and what I'm going to do is have you select a card just by saying stop. Now, usually when a magician tells you to say stop, they would riffle or they would dribble, but you know there's ways you can force a card doing that. So we're just going to spread it like this. And you say stop on any card you want.
Stop.
Right here?
Yeah.
Are you 100% sure?
100,000,000%. Yeah, that's the one.
100,000,000%. Great.
Feeling it.
And to make sure I don't peek at the card, I am actually going to blindfold myself using my mask over here.
Wow. Okay. That's not where that goes, but all right. That's such a great
idea. Can you see the card?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to keep the blindfold on. And you can say stop again.
Stop.
Right here?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, we're going to square this up, and I'm going to shuffle the cards. I'm going to shuffle them 3 times. Great. That's just perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Don't worry about it.
That's just a joke. That's just a joke.
Okay.
So we pick all these cards up, and that is my method of shuffling. Some cards go up, some cards go down. I hate this trick because I hate picking up cards.
I actually felt for that. That your fake bad shuffle was incredibly convincing.
I'm gonna put the blindfold back on. You still remember your card, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip some cards up Some cards are going to stay down. And I'm going to just try and find your card while staying blindfolded here.
I don't even know what's happening. Like, how is... Okay.
What was the card that you chose?
Two of spades?
Two of spades.
Wow, what an incredible way to start the stream. Ben, I'm going to be honest with you. I always say this on the stream. I pay attention to the comments a lot. My attention is divided. So about 70 to 80% of me is actually watching the trick, but I don't have a clue how you did that. Let's see what the comments. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. So the comments are agreeing here. We've got a ton coming in. Okay. Yeah, so it seems like I'm not the only one who was very confused by that. Look, when you do simple card tricks, it's very confusing for someone like me because I don't even know when I was supposed to look for the secret. You know, like the selection was fair, putting it back was fair. I know those cards, they can't be marked, and even if they were, but it's not, you know what, forget that. I want to talk about, Ben is 13 years old. I'm going to do this so people could see me. Ben is 13 years old. At 13, I had nowhere near your presentational skills, your handling skills, even the commitment to messing up that shuffle. I bought that because, you know, when I was 13, that would happen to me a lot. So the way you played into that, the way you were like, oh man, I messed up. Great. Like I bought that. I felt bad for you. I'm like, oh my God, he's messing it up on the stream. It was incredible. The idea of using a mask as a blindfold, like making something that everyone has now relevant like that. Ben, that was incredible. What a great way to start the stream. Yeah, and I would say that I don't know how you did that. So that's a little bonus. Ben, that was incredible. Stick around. I'm going to put your social media up here because everybody needs to follow you, because if this is an indication of where you're going, by the time you're my age, you're going to be the best magician on the planet. So Ben Jones Magic, that's on Instagram, guys. I think we should all go give him a follow, because if what we just saw is an indication of his talent, we're in for great things. Ben, thank you so much for joining us today. That was incredible. And stick around. We'll talk to you after the stream.
Thanks,
man. Incredible trick. What a great way to start. I agree. He is so good. I agree with you all. Yes, indeed. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. What a great way to start the stream. Nice, quick card trick. I'm going to rewatch that when I'm done. I'm going to rewatch. You know, usually like I like to start slow. I like to get into things slowly, but that hit me on the back of the head. Very unexpected. I'm going to watch that again when the stream is over, because I don't really know what happened. Actually, let's bring Ben back. Ben, I'm going to bring you back in. Sorry about that, because I need you for my performance now. So this week we learned about my method to erase ink off of playing cards. Ben, did you watch that video? You did. Okay. You're on mute now, but that's fine. I saw you nod. Also, I want to give a shout out to your sweater first. Merch from our good friend Chris Ramsey. So thank you for supporting that. As a community, we appreciate when you guys support our stuff, our merchandise. So Ben, thank you so much. I'm sure Ramsey really appreciates that. So anyways, we talked about my method of erasing ink or pips off of cards to make custom gaffed cards. And I told you guys that my secret potion was Axe body spray, which somehow amazingly erases ink off cards. Ben, did you try it?
I did.
And were you like mind blown?
Yeah, I did not think it was going to work. Not going to lie to you, but it worked. Right?
How it just kind of. Let me know in the comments if you guys tried it yet, or if you're going to try it soon. You know, you guys are commenting, but I want to know if you guys actually are doing it. Anyways, I want to talk to you guys about different ideas that I have with this. And I'm going to show you guys one right now, which is one of my favorite applications for this. put that aside for now. So here's one of my favorite applications. I showed this. Oh, good. Some of you are saying that you're doing it. Yeah, so this is important. Links is Axe and links are the same thing. So if you're in the UK, they just call it links, but it's the exact same product as Axe and it works as well. So keep that in mind. So good. A lot of you are using it. It worked. Oh, ironically, your name is Apollo, and that's one of the fragrances of Axe. So anyways, this is one of my favorite routines to do with that method. And this has a lot of advantages over the other ones. Let me just make sure. Yeah, everything's good. I'll shuffle them. So Ben, you're going to help me out here. I'm going to run down the cards like this. I want you to say the word stop whenever you like. So whenever you want, say stop.
Stop.
Right there. Wonderful.
Yep.
I'm not going to look at my monitor. I'm just going to show you the card. Can you remember that card? Oh, do you see it?
Yep. Got it.
And I kind of looked there at the monitor to make sure you could see it, but it doesn't matter. We're going to throw that somewhere in the middle of the deck. And if you do this live, they're the ones who are putting this in the middle of the deck. And then you give the cards a good shuffling. And here's what we're going to try, Ben. I'm not gonna try to find your card because I have an assistant who's actually a better magician than me, and he lives inside the deck. And I'll show this to you. My buddy, the Jack of Spades, there he is at the top. You know what? Let me do this so you guys can see it better. Hold on. I don't know why. Oh, sorry. Just gonna do this so you guys, the focus will work better. There we go. You see that, Ben?
Yep.
That's the Jack of Spades. He's my assistant. He's going to tell us what the card is. So check this out. It's going to be pretty quick. If I just give the Jack a little bit of privacy like this, he focuses. And if you look, he's trying to tell us something. Right there. I think he's got a message for you. He seems to think your card was the 7 of diamonds. What was your card? Say it out loud.
7 of diamonds.
7 of diamonds. And then you could do a cleanup with a KM move. And now, so here's the advantage to this that I really like over some of the other tricks with the Axe method is that when some of you will have noticed, and we're going to talk about this, that when you do the erasing, like on the 4 that I did in the video, there's a bit of like the finish gets ruined a little. It's really not obvious. It's only obvious if you hold it to where it's reflecting the light. It reflects a little different. What I love about this is that in this case, it doesn't matter if the finish is different. It doesn't. You can hand this in. They can look at it because it stands to reason that the finish is different. A piece of the Jack is missing. So how did that happen? So we're going to talk about that really quick. Basically, I've forced the 7 of diamonds. Let's just talk about the whole thing really quick. So we have the 7 of diamonds. Here's your setup. You have the 7 of diamonds. You have a normal Jack of Spades. So this is all a normal deck, but from a different deck, you're going to take a Jack of Spades and you're going to prepare it like this. So I take another random card, and I've got it right here to show it to you guys. I take another random card. Doesn't have to be a Jack of Spades. I do with the Jack of Spades to see where the spacing should be, but it doesn't have to be. And you cut out a 7 of diamonds from that card. Like this. It's a stencil. And then I take that and I stick it to my set. So the back has been sprayed with adhesive glue that you guys know I love. And then I stick that to the face of the Jack of Spades like this. Let me wait for that to focus like that. And then I take my Axe deodorant body spray. I spray it on a piece of paper towel. And then I rub that area back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then when you remove this, you're going to have your gimmick that is ready. It's this. It's a it's a Jack of Spades with a 7 of diamonds missing from the belly of it, like this. So that is going to go on your deck. No, sorry. The normal Jack of Spades is going to go on your deck. Then the one with the missing 7 of diamonds. Then the 7 of diamonds at the very top like this. So you're going to start with a riffle force. I've covered this in a lot of my videos, but basically you've got a pinky break above the 7. You run down. If you guys want to learn riffle force, just go back to the video, the last video I posted about the deodorant, and you'll learn this. They say stop, your finger goes in, you open it up like this, but you're actually opening up from the back. to the 7 of diamonds. So they take a look at that. You force the 7 of diamonds, but you can use any force you like, any card force you like. And then that goes in the middle of the deck. And at this point, you're going to do a double lift, which, you know what? I'll leave links in the description of this afterwards to where you could learn the best double lifts, which is actually on the channel of our guest today, who's going to be coming in later. But you do a double lift. That's 2 cards turned over as once. Most of you know what that is. And now you're going to do a Nerdnace color change, which, again, in the description of this, when it's all done, I'll leave a link to where you can learn this move. But it's basically, it's a beautiful color change of the top card where as you turn, the pinky pushes that top card forward like this. As you're turning over, the pinky is pushing that forward. So this is, it ends up like that. The heel of your hand is coming back here and pulling that second card back like that. Then I align here and I move away. This is something I add to the Nerdnace color change. I move away like this. Then I come back. So the gimmick card is there. Then when I come back, I drop it on top and I wipe away. And it's this beautiful magical reveal of the 7 of diamonds. But again, if you don't know the Nerdnace color change, I will leave a link in the description to where you guys can learn it. And then you guys go make yourself one of these and you can do this version, which is a really cool visual trick that I love. We're going to talk about a lot more Axe body spray tricks today, but that's a really cool one to start. Ben, thank you for joining us once again. Thanks for being my spectator. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate when you guys say that because I try so hard to teach things in a way that you guys can actually get it and learn it. Axe is going to be confused for an increase in sales. Well, what's happening? We're trending again. Yay. So, yeah, I feel like they should send me merchandise for free. I actually don't even want it. 1 can lasts me like a year, so we're good. Okay, let's bring in our next guest. We are traveling all the way across oceans to the Mediterranean. And let's bring in our friend from Greece. He is 18 years old. That's amazing. And he's doing an original trick. And his name is Alex. So let's welcome, let's do it this way so everybody could see you. Alex, welcome to the stream. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited to see your trick. Are you ready to go?
Yep.
Then let's do it. I'll do this so everybody could see you. Take it away.
So I've always been fascinated with dice. I don't know why. Like right now, all I see is dice. Like, I don't know, with my glasses on. All I see is dice. I don't know. They're floating everywhere. And I was thinking to do a card trick or something basic. So I said to myself, no. No card trick today.
Nice.
No. So this is my effect for the day, my routine. I said no card trick. This is a die. What is happening today? This is a die that helped me a lot because I always know what number it's going to get. I don't know how. You don't know how. You will see why. You see the die?
Yeah.
And I have this box. I'll put the die on the box. I'm going to shake it. You see different numbers. Again, 3.
Yeah, we'll go 3 again. You're cheating. Okay, those are 2. You're not cheating.
I'm going to do it one last time. And this time I want you to see the number and remember it. I'm not looking. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Look in the box. You cannot see the box, right?
Correct.
Just remember the number. Just imagine saying the number. Imagine saying it like 666 like that. So I know it's a 6.
Yeah. Great. Wow.
And that's a trick because the dice is here.
Yeah.
But
It's amazing.
it gets interesting. These 2 dice, I want you to, with process of elimination, just say one.
Let's go with the red one.
Okay. So I want you to imagine having the red dice on you right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to create a table with this pencil. You roll the die and lands on a number. Only you know the number.
Okay.
Just imagine the number, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to find out the number by your ability to tell a lie or tell the truth. So I want you to choose now a character. You either are going to tell only the truth or only lie.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you some questions just to see how you think. I don't know if you're telling the truth or lying, so I don't know if it's honest. So the number you rolled, is it odd? Is it an odd number?
No.
Okay. And is it above 3, like 4, 5, 6? Remember,
Yes.
still character. If you're lying, only lying. If you're telling the truth, only tell the truth.
Yes.
Okay. So just imagine your number. Okay. You're kind of difficult to read, probably because you're a mentalist. But I think I've got an idea. Okay. Look at me, because I can see you very well. Okay. So, one last question. Is your number a 2?
No.
Again, stick to character.
No.
Okay. So, I want you to imagine telling me the number like 666. Is the 4?
Yes.
And that's how I find out with also an imaginary dice. But
So good.
I control all your choices. You don't believe it. Why is that? You chose the red die and you chose number 4. You see this box? I told you in this box in the beginning I had the die, but there is something here, if you can hear it.
Yep.
There's actually a piece of paper. Come on. Which says,
You will choose the red die.
you will choose the red die. And
Wow.
behind it,
Whoa.
why is that? Because I chose to wear a red jacket, a red box, and
Yeah.
a red deck.
Yeah.
To show you everything. And that is my routine. Thank you.
That's incredible, guys. What do you think of that? That's amazing. There's some really cool things I want to say. But before I do, one of my birds is going nuts. So I'm just going to go silence them. Not how you think. I'm just going to close the lights so they'll be silent. Give me 1 sec because it's driving me crazy. The bird has been silenced. That was a great routine, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Boom. Boom. So there's a couple of things to say about this. Great. So there's a couple of things to say about this. First of all, great combination of different tricks and marketed gimmicks that work together to create this. I really do appreciate that. Love the use of the gift. It's also difficult to understand because for those of you who know, you know that there's a 4-way out. Anyways, whatever. Great stuff. So you know where my confusion is, right, Alex? Because the gift, which I don't want to talk too much about because I don't want to give it away, is 4 options, but you did a trick which would have 6 options. So anyways, really great. Yeah, the presentation is great. It's also a little like your presentation has to be really good to do a trick like this because there's a key moment in what you say that you're actually, I don't want to give it away, but I know you know what I'm talking about, where it looks like it's just patter, but it's part of the method. And that's really, really smart. So anyways, great trick. Looks like we're having some great reactions. Yeah, I have a zoo in my house. It's kind of insane. There's like 1 billion animals. So thank you so much for that, Alex. I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys did as well. Alex, we're going to say goodbye right now.
Okay.
Thanks for being here. That was a lot of fun. Stick around. We'll talk to you after the stream. Boom. So, okay, let's talk a little bit more. That was amazing. Oh, you know what? I'm going to plug in. I totally forgot to do this. But for those of you who want to follow Alex, that's him. You could see his handle right there at the bottom. For Instagram, no, this way, there, right there. For Instagram, go check him out right there, AlexVas1410. Thank you for joining us today. Alex, a lot of you are asking in the comments how to join the stream. I say this at every stream. 2 days before every stream on the Friday, usually on the Friday, sometimes a little earlier, sometimes a little later, but usually on the Friday before the stream, I post on my YouTube community page and my Instagram, sometimes one, sometimes the other, sometimes both. And I ask you guys to comment, and then I pick people to be on the stream. Everyone you're seeing today, except for my special guest, commented on those posts, and that's how they earned a position to be on the stream. So if you're interested, do that. Okay, Kareem, I'm going to ask you to stop spamming, please. I do appreciate your enthusiasm, but please stop spamming in the comments. I do appreciate that. Can I do both from now on? You don't have Instagram. I normally do it on YouTube before I do it on Instagram. So I've never done it only on Instagram. So check the YouTube page. Yes, we have a spammer. He has been warned. Okay, let's talk more about this body spray thing. So in a couple of weeks, I'm going to upload my absolute favorite trick to do with the Axe body spray. It's got nothing to do with vanishing pips. It's super original, and you create a really cool gaff. But my second favorite, or a variation of what we already learned, is this. So I'm just going to show it to you guys, because a lot of you saw the video last week where they pick a card and then you get it wrong. Where is, oh, there. Where you get it wrong, and then you adjust by wiping a pip off the card that you got incorrectly. I want to show you guys a variation on that, and the variation is this. So like last week's trick, if you guys haven't seen it when the stream is over, go back and watch it. They pick a card. So let's say there, boom, they say stop. It's the 3 of diamonds. This is exactly the same as last week's trick. You guys will remember they put the 3 of diamonds back. Now in the original trick, sorry, doesn't go randomly in the back. I confused myself. They pick a card, 3 of diamonds. It goes back in the middle. You control it to the top, however you like. I taught a double undercut in the video, but any control works. So now you bring it to the top. Now in the original video, you cut to a card. It's the 4 of diamonds. It's wrong. You wipe off one of the pips, and then you shake it, and it turns to the 3 of diamonds. You guys all saw that. Here's a variation on that. So you say they've chosen the card. It's gone back. And you say, focus on your card. I'm going to try to guess what it is. Whew. Okay, I got it. It's this. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. I think that your card was a low card. It was a red card. It was a diamond. I think your card was the 4 of diamonds. Is that your card, the 4 of diamonds? And they go, no. And you go, what was it? They go 3 of diamonds. And you go, well, okay, I was close, right? I mean, 4 diamonds, 3 diamonds. I was just one off. You know what? Actually, if I just do that, that's technically a 3 of diamonds. You know what? Actually, let's do that. Watch. I want you to see this. If I just take that diamond and remove it like that, now we have a 3 of diamonds. So it's very different in that you don't magically wipe it off. You actually physically remove it like this. And they could check this out. None of the other ones come off. You can leave that on the table. And then you go, actually, you know what? That's not quite a 3 of diamonds. It is 3 diamonds. But to make it the 3 of diamonds, we just would have to give it a shake like this. And now that's your card, the 3 of diamonds. So how do we do this? It's very similar to what I taught last week. For those of you who didn't see the video, go back and watch it. It's the last tutorial I posted, but I've done a few things differently. First of all, you're not going to see this. It's really hard to show this to you, but it doesn't have a big smush on the card. Where's the focus? Come on. There. There you see it. It doesn't have a big smush on the card, like a big mess. It has actually like the shape is like a missing diamond. And the way I do that is I take tape, clear tape, and I tape around the diamond. So I put one strip of clear tape like this, and then one like this, and then one like that, and then one like that. So I block the area with Scotch tape, and then I take my axe and I wipe. So only the diamond is being, that diamond area is being messed up. And I want you to see how that looks different from the other one that I used in last week's tutorial, because that one, this whole area had a bit of like a mess. And that kind of makes sense when you're wiping like that. But in this case, I like that, like it kind of looks like the diamond was there. You know what I mean? Then I literally just cut a diamond off of another card, any other card. It could even be from the same deck because you don't need a full deck to do this trick. And then on the back of that diamond, I put some adhesive and I stick that where it's supposed to go. Don't even worry about it being perfectly exactly where it's supposed to go, because even if it's a little lower, a little higher, no one's really paying attention to that. See, it's a little lower there, but it doesn't matter. The beauty of this is that goes somewhere in the middle of the deck. You don't even need to know where it is. Just keep it in there. Now, you force your 3 of diamonds exactly like in last week's trick. So you're going to do, in this case, the riffle force or whatever you want. There, they say stop. They take that card. They remember it. Now you control it to the top. So that goes back in. I do my whatever control you want, just a simple cut in this case, or double undercut, doesn't matter. Now you go through and you literally just find that 4. And you go, boom, that's your card. And they say no. And the beauty of this is there's no double lifts, there's no secret, anything. You're holding a 4. And they say that's not it. You go, oh, what was it? They say 3 of diamonds. Now you literally just peel off right in front of them that extra diamond. And you go, okay, well, we don't need that. And now this is amazing to them because like, what the heck, what is this? You know, like to them, like this is such a bizarre thing to look at. And they could take it, they could feel it. They can even see that there used to be a diamond there. And that's what I love about this, but it's just not there. Then you take it back. Now your 3 of diamonds, remember, is on top because you controlled it there. You take this back, you place it on top, you get your pinky under both, pick it up, and do the shapeshifter or pirouette change, which we covered in the video. And now you have found their 3 of diamonds. So there's that. And it's just a different way to do the same trick. As you guys can see, there's so many variations and ideas to do with this wiping pip business, but this is just a really cool way to do it. And it's also a different option of a way to wipe that pip off and just have that smudge where the diamond was, which makes maybe more sense for some people. So glad you guys like it. Boom. Good. Good, good, good. Yeah, it's just endless, the number of things you can do with this. So it's just a really great, it's just a really great way to make your own gaffs and have your own ideas. Like I said, in a few weeks, I'm going to upload my favorite trick to do with this axe principle. It's really fun. It's really interactive. It's really cool. It's very different than any other trick, but we're going to get to that in a couple of weeks. Let's go to our next guest now. So our next guest is also on the other side of the world from where I am, and really excited to have him. Really excited to see this trick. Let's welcome everybody to the stream. My friend and yours, Mr. Damon. How are you, my friend?
Hello, I'm good. Just a bit sick, but I'm feeling great. Thanks for letting me be here.
What do you have? Is it COVID?
No, I hope not.
What is just?
No, it's not the symptoms. It's migraine and throat pain. But
okay. Well, whatever it is, glad you're staying home, and I'm sure you'll be fine very soon. So, what are we doing today?
We're going to do a mind mentalism act.
Cool.
And it's going to be a bit difficult. The sound of it will be difficult, but it will be quite easy once I lead you through it. So I'm going to start by putting the camera down because you need to see what I have prepared here. So let me do that very quick. That should work.
Huh.
So you should see different rubber bands with a different amount of coins in them. Yeah. And they kind of form the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yep.
And then for the number 8, we will have this black colored poker chip. I just colored it in with a Sharpie. Okay. And the white piece of paper.
Okay.
So this is all just my tools to get into your mind. Since you're a mentalist, it will be hard. And the other tool is you need a calculator, please. So take any calculator. It can be phone calculator or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do the classical, think of any number between 1 and 9, like between 1 and 10, but 10 is not on the calculator. So
Sure.
any number between 1 and 9, you will think of it. But since nobody will ever have a random decision on that, you will make the decision multiple times. So we end up with a random number.
Okay.
And how you do that is by just entering any random number between 1 and 9.
Yep.
And then multiplying it, and then entering any other number between 1 and 9 and multiplying, and so on. So don't let me know how many you multiply or what numbers you multiply.
When do I
and
stop?
You continue until you have 7, 8, or 9 digits. So we are in the millions. Tell me when you're done.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2. I have 8 digits.
All right, it's fine. It's perfect. Just we need more digits, so it's a bit easier for you to choose one random.
Yep.
So you have the complete number. It's completely random. I cannot know it.
Absolutely.
So
Agreed.
out of all those digits, please choose one that you are going to hide from me.
Okay.
And imagine putting it in your pocket or just moving it behind, like some way that you can think of to hide it from me.
Okay.
And all the other digits, you will just name me in any order.
In any order?
In any order.
So you want me to think of one, and I don't tell you that one, but
Exactly,
I tell you all the other 7 in a random order.
Exactly.
Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
3, 8, 2, 1, 6, 0, 1.
All right, that was quite clear. We will do it again, but you will be able to do it faster. But for now, it was very easy for me. I have 2 informations that I need at the start. I need to know, did you tell me the number? Like, is your number one of the ones that you told me or not? That's the one way to eliminate some of the numbers. And I'm sure that your number is one that you told me. And now it can be the 3, the 8, the 2, the 1, the 6. Oh yeah, that's it. That could be the numbers that you told me.
Mm-hmm.
So just tell me, just say odd once with no, just say odd.
Odd.
And now say even.
Even.
So even though most people didn't hear it, I'm very certain it's an even number. And I'm very certain it can be only the 6 and the 8. And the 6 would be the yellow, and the 8 would be the poker chip.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm quite certain that you reacted in a way that I'm certain it was the 6. Was your first number the 6?
Yes. Wow.
Okay, we're going to do it one more time. Make sure that I cannot know it, and make sure you tell me the numbers all a bit faster and without showing me any different emotion for anyone.
Ready?
I'm ready.
1, 0, 5, 2, 0, 0.
Okay, I'm quite certain your number was there again. It's one that you told me, and it was quite at the beginning because you said the other numbers a bit faster. So I'm deciding between the 1 and the 5, and this is hard. I don't want to miss it. 1 would be the blue rubber band, and 5 would be the yellow rubber band. Name any drink that comes to your mind. Any drink.
Pepsi.
Okay, that's interesting. I think Coca-Cola is the one that most people think of. It's red, but I offered you blue and yellow, and you said Pepsi. You said that with no actual, you didn't want to give me a clue, but I'm pretty sure your number that you were hiding from me was the 1, like the blue Pepsi logo.
No.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
It wasn't the 1? Oh,
No.
I was so sure. Okay, let's try it with one more number. I need to clear my mistakes.
Do it again. Ready?
We do it again, yes.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
8, 3, 8, 400.
All right. All right. I wish we did this more times, because every time you told me a number that was there from the beginning, 838-400-838, it was not the 8, that's obvious. It's either the 3 or the 4, I assume. Please just look at the orange rubber band and look at the purple one.
Uh-huh.
And it's hard to decide. Orange and purple. Okay, tell me any emotion, happy or sad. Happy or sad. Decide one.
Happy.
Okay, you're an optimist. That was easy. Giraffe or ant? A giraffe is very tall, like the bigger number, and ant is very small.
Giraffe.
It's actually, you actually helped me again. So it's gonna be the purple rubber band. It's gonna be the 4 that you were hiding from me.
Absolutely, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and basically the way that works is you've seen it once. I told you once which color is which number.
Yeah.
And even though you think you don't remember it, your subconscious remembers it, and you will always give me clues, even though I try this with hecklers, and even hecklers, they try to hide the number from me, but they will always give me some clues. Yeah, so
very cool.
I'm glad it worked. Like I usually do it more times, and
yeah, very cool. I really like this, and I really like the way you've staged it with the rubber bands and the coins in there to add a visual element to the divination part, which is really, really cool, Damon. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's throw your this is your Instagram, Mentalist Mentality. So you guys can go give him a follow there. That was cool, man. That was really, really cool, Damon. Thank you so much for being here with us today. That was a great trick. Really cool principle. And hold on, let's see what boom.
Thanks a lot.
It's crazy when the comments come in faster than I can highlight them. Very cool. So thank you, Damon. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Stick around. We'll talk to you after the stream.
Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. All right, so that was great. Let's keep moving. I have a really special guest coming up for you guys today. I'm really excited to have him. But before we get to him, before we chat and learn some cool stuff, this next trick, our next guest who's going to show us this trick, I can't tell you how excited I am, because, you know, usually I ask you guys in your comments to describe what you're going to do. And the description of this trick, I can't even believe. So let's bring in, from a country that is always super active on the streams, my friend Raghav. How are you?
Yeah, I'm in the pink of health. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm really excited to see your trick, because you promised, what you said in your comment is that you're going to do a trick with, you're going to do a book test with my books.
Yeah, yes.
Which is crazy.
So, do you have books around you?
I do. I brought a couple of books.
Yeah. So, can you take show the books?
Yes. You want to know what they are?
Yeah. Just tell the name.
This is called Flim Flam from James Randi. It's all about how psychics are fraudulent. This is God No by Penn Jillette from Penn and Teller. This is Magic is Dead by Ian Frisch.
Okay.
And this is The Wisdom of Psychopaths by Kevin Dutton.
Okay. Now I want you, you can choose any one of the books.
Any one of them?
Yes.
Let's go with Magic is Dead.
Okay. Okay. All right. Now flip to any random page. You can flip to any random page, which has lot of text.
Okay, this works.
Okay. Now show to the webcam. Show me.
Do I show you both pages, or do I just hold on? Let me do this.
Yeah. Can you bring more closer? Yeah. So I see on the top, Magic is Dead, which is very obvious. But I'll I'll read some words, and you have to think of one of the words from whatever words I say.
Okay.
And I might have you change the page for more interesting words.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I can see stranger, observant, conversation, personality. Flip the page. Flip one page. Yeah. Lonely, happiness, rational, manipulate. Flip over one more page. Frustrated, argument. Okay, that's it. So are you having one word in your mind out of the words I said?
Yup.
Okay, now I want you to transfer that word to me from your mind by using this action. This action. Okay, I think I got it. Now just imagine the words flashing in the air. Your word has A in it.
A what?
Your word has A in it.
A. Yep.
Yes. There is a T also
Uh-huh.
in your word. E also is there.
No. Wait. Yes. Sorry.
And there is a R also.
Yeah.
And an N.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes.
S also is there.
Yeah.
And then O also is there.
Yeah.
Then I also is there.
I know.
B is there. I think B is there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Just think over that word in your mind again and again. Your word is observant.
Great. Great. I have a question for you. Where did you learn that?
I learned from Theory 11, this trick.
Where did they teach that?
This is a trick verbatim by Colin McLeod.
Okay. This is because this is based on a very, very old trick. I'm trying to remember. I want to say Bob Cassidy, but I saw
Mark Elston came with it earlier, so he was having.
No, it's older than that. It's way older than that. And usually the way it would be done is you would have a book and somebody would say stop, and you would just say some, obviously it wouldn't be done to a webcam. It's an interesting twist to do it like that with a webcam. Yeah, it's great. It's so good because the principle that it relies on, well, there's two principles it relies on, but the first one that it relies on is really brilliant because it just flies by. Like no one's gonna check for that, and you know what I'm talking about, which is really smart. But yeah, it's a great way to do it because originally it was just you have a book and then somebody says stop and you just read out some words and then they think of one and then you know what it is. But that was great. What do you guys think of that? I want to know what you guys think of that. So we have some great comments coming in. Oh, some people recognize it. So it's called verbatim from. So I guess if you guys want to learn that, it's called verbatim on Theory 11. Is it new, Raghav? Did they recently post this, or it's a while ago?
Yeah, 3 to 4 months back, I think, recently, because of this situation. Yeah. So,
and it's a download.
Yeah, it's a download, instant download.
I think this is a great download. Something you could do with borrowed books through a webcam. That's really strong stuff. So loved it, Raghav. Thank you so much. So guys, if you want to learn that Theory 11 verbatim, Theory 11 has some great stuff. Some of my best mentalism downloads are there. So go check it out, theory11.com. Let's put Raghav's Instagram up there. That is Raghav's Instagram. And it's also very late for Raghav. So I do really appreciate you being here and joining us and staying up. It means the world. I've said this before on the stream. A lot of people say, hey, can you do it later? Can you do it earlier? No, I can't. I'm going to do it when I'm going to do it. And I really do appreciate it, though, when people like you, Raghav, stay up to be part of the stream. Really means the world to me. So I hope you had a good time here today. I know
it's fine because it's it's fine because it's once in a lifetime opportunity. So yeah.
Well, that was a lot of fun, Raghav. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, guys. So we're going to bring in my special guest of the day very soon. Before I do that, just a couple of things. People are still asking in the comments how to join the stream. Once again, 2 days before every stream. So in 2 weeks from now on the Friday, I post a status on my community page and on my Instagram where if you comment, you can be picked as someone to join us. Now, I want to talk about that. Very important. Two things. One, don't DM. Don't DM me on Instagram with your answer. A lot of people think that if they do that, I'm going to pick them. I will disqualify you if you do that. It's very clear. I need you to comment on the post. You can't spam my DMs with your comment. It's not going to help. The other thing is, a lot of people are like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I've entered 3 or 4 times and I haven't been picked. Guys, you have to understand, hundreds of people are applying. I can't choose everyone, but keep trying and eventually I will. But please don't tell me off because I didn't pick you after you tried a couple of times. It's unreasonable to expect to come on. And I really don't appreciate when people are giving me a hard time because I didn't choose you. I try my best to bring as many people as I can, as you know, but I don't want to feel like I'm doing the wrong thing by not picking you. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to welcome everyone to the channel. So please don't spam my DMs. Please don't write comments like, oh, please look at my comment. Look at my comment. Spam. Just one comment on the post, and then I randomly pick. And anything above that, I'm probably not going to pick you because I just all I need is one comment. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Just don't spam because it's not going to increase your odds. Hope that makes sense. Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's they are, and it gets annoying sometimes because I can't choose everyone, and I'm trying my best to choose as many people as I can. And I always try to choose from different parts of the world, different ages. So yeah, please stop. Those of you who are spamming please pick me, and then DM. That's a lot easier to get you blocked than to get you on the stream. So thanks for understanding. That was my little rant. Okay, so we're going to bring in the special guest this week. This is someone I'm really excited to have on the channel. This is someone that if I wasn't so involved in the magic community and I was just learning magic, this is somebody who I would be a huge fan of. I am a huge fan of, but I would watch this guy's content to learn magic if I was starting magic right now. He's someone I recommend very often in my videos. In fact, whenever I do a card trick where I do a move in the trick and I want you guys to go learn more about that move, I'm always sending you guys to this guy's channel. He is, I think, there's a lot of tutorial channels out there, and the vast majority, over 90%, are by people who don't know what they're doing, who don't have the real world experience. They're just exposing a trick they learned last week. They could barely do it right. There are very few people who teach from a place of experience, and I think this guy is one of 2 of my favorites. There's really 3 channels that I watch a lot for tutorials, and he's one of my 2 favorites when it comes to teaching technique and sleights. He's a great guy. You've seen him on the channel once before as well. Welcome everybody to the channel. Boom. Oh, he's so little. Alex Pandrea.
Yo, guys, what is going on?
Super excited to have you. Actually, Alex, I didn't say this, but you are the #1 requested guest on the live stream. Every other week when I've asked, who would you guys like to see? Or even if I don't ask, people are always saying, please bring Alex Pandrea. You have such a great following.
Sure.
What's that?
I said, I'm sure. See, that's all your guests, don't you?
Yeah. No, I really don't. You are. I could show you. I could show you screenshots. You are being requested all the time. And I think that's a reflection of the great amount of content you put out. Like I said earlier, there's a lot of YouTube channels out there that expose magic from a place of inexperience. But then there are 3 channels that I love. One is 52 Cards with a K. He's a great guy, and there's skill behind it. But I think that the 2 that have the most skill and experience that I could feel right through the screen is you and Xavier Spade. And Spade has been on the channel before, so it's great to have you here. And Alex, I'd like to talk a little bit about that actually before we jump into any of the tutorial stuff. So what do you think about that? Do you feel like when you teach moves on YouTube, I know there's huge debate over this and I've expressed my opinion, but when you teach like advanced sleight of hand on YouTube, do you feel that the art suffers or what's your opinion on that? Where's your thought process behind that?
I mean, well, thank you very much for having me on. I'm very excited to be here. And I hope everybody's doing A-okay, staying safe wherever you might be. I have a few opinions on this, and I think the way to think about it is think about it like this in 2 ways. Okay, if you are really wanting to learn magic, right, and really curious and really passionate about sleight of hand, about card magic, and about taking magic further, right, in those sort of levels, you will come onto the channel and get something out of it and appreciate the content. All right, that's one way to look at it. 2, if you're looking for just the secrets, and I think this is what a lot of people are saying. People are like, oh, don't teach to people that are either laymen or, if they watch my videos or Xavier's videos or people that do in-depth tutorial, they will not understand what's going on. They will be bored and they will leave after the first 2 minutes, right? And I talk a lot, and I understand this, and I get the comments all the time. Alex, stop talking, just get to the tutorial. Yep. And I welcome this because those types of people that come onto the channel and don't want to understand the history behind it or the in-depth explanation of why we do it this way, or before we begin learning the actual tutorial, this is important, so listen here. And then if they cut off there, well, that's fine. They're off. They're not going to come back and watch another one of my videos to hear Pandrea yapping. That's fine.
That's such a great point.
I look at it in those 2 ways. So at the end of the day, the people that are on and watching it, they are actually curious to learn. Nobody should be denying them that right to learn and be passionate about something and search it out for free. And that's my stance on it. And we all have our opinions. Everybody is entitled to think of how they want to think, but you're not going to stop it. You're not going to change. You're not going to try to get people to, we're not backtracking here. We're only going forward, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So that's my very sort of, I could talk about this for a long time.
So I totally agree with you. And one of the things I say is exactly what you said. And you're actually the first person I've heard say this, where there's a difference between people who just expose magic. So it's like these videos where it's like, learn 37 tricks in 2 minutes. Or this kid who starts a video and it's on his hands and he's doing this sloppy maneuver just to expose a secret. And what we do. And what I explain to a lot of people who don't understand how YouTube works is, if you look at any one of my videos, their standard is like about 15 minutes, sometimes 13, 14, sometimes 16, 17, but the average of my tutorial videos is 15 minutes. The secret of what's happening and how it works usually kicks in at somewhere around the 9-minute mark, because, I do the performance, I talk about the history, and then I get into the tutorial, and it's spread out. It's not one secret. So you have to keep watching to get how it all comes together. If you just watch 10 seconds of it, you're not going to understand what it is. Now, the great thing about it is, if you look at my average watch time on my videos, it's usually somewhere in the 7 to 8 minutes. So like on a 14-minute video, I'm usually around 50-55%. So on a 14-minute video, I'm 7.5 minutes average, which means that the average person, most people who watched the video, didn't even make it to the part where I talked about the secret. So those who want to learn and those who are passionate about it, like you said, are watching it all the way through, and they're learning it and they're following along. But those who don't care, they're watching, and within the first couple of minutes, like you said, they're going, this guy talks too much, and they're leaving. What they don't understand is that that's 100% by design. and I find them so dumb when they say that, because it's like, before you give your opinion, think a little bit about why I might be doing that. Like, we have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. It's not by fluke. Like, we know what we're doing. So like you said, I welcome that. When they go, oh, this guy talks too much, I'm leaving. I'm like, good, get out of here. I don't want you here, because if you're just here to learn a quick secret, my channel isn't for you. And Alex, it's the same with you. Another thing people
and here's the thing, Spidey. Also, I go like really in depth. Most of my stuff is like I really wanted to concentrate on making sleight of hand better and performing it in such a way so you could perform. Like, a lot of people learn the sleights and don't really know like what to do with them. Don't really know sort of how to practice them, how to use them in performances, what comes before, what comes after, everything that surrounds an actual sleight. And if you're fine, you can. If you're just looking for, as you say, and I tend to think that this is not the majority of people watching magic tutorials on YouTube just to learn the secret. But if they come to someone like me and they learn a weird sleight kind of thing, well, what are they going to do with that information, you know? So I don't really find that much harm in it. And
I absolutely agree. Yeah, that's another thing people don't get. Like, when they go, stop exposing magic, you're leaking our secrets. These old guys who don't get how social media works, what they don't understand is they think someone went on YouTube and said, expose magic, search that, and saw our video and sat there and watched it and said, now magic has been exposed. That's not how it works. People are on YouTube watching a million different things, and they go through all these different videos. So a lot of our views are just people who are, going through YouTube, time to kill. They don't, by the time they're done the video, they're already watching some other video about cats, and they already forgot what they saw in our video. I could
exactly
in my videos, I could fool them with the same content.
Yeah, same thing. Like, my non-magician friends that I tell to watch my videos because they're interested. I go, you could learn everything on my YouTube channel. I go, right? Literally. Yeah. I say that, watch my latest video, they watch it, whatever, and then just the exact same thing that was in the video. It's the same sort of thing when the Masked Magician was on, and people were like, I saw all of the Masked Magician ones, and okay, go ahead. And then I asked them, what do you remember from the Masked Magician episodes? They cannot name one thing from it.
Yeah, or they can name one thing, like, oh, he made the elephant disappear like this.
And it was like, smoke and mirrors or something.
Yeah, they don't remember. It's like, I can go watch as many videos I want about plumbing. I'm not going to remember a damn thing. Like, I'm not passionate about it. So I'm not, I can go watch a whole video about cooking or baking a cake and then ask me to bake that same cake. There's no way I'm going to be able to do it from memory.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's a very small percentage of those people, I think. So I don't think people should, people have to just, relax, stop complaining about life and everything else that is surrounding them, because their misery is then portrayed out into this world, and that's never a good thing. So
yeah, the bottom line is times are changing, and we got to change with them. Let's talk about something you said that I'm very curious about, because I know that different people have different ways to look at this, especially in the sleight of hand world, which is not my world. I mean, I do a bit of it as for fun and close-up gigs, but I'm usually on stage. So you are a master of sleight of hand. Like, I've seen you live and I've seen you on video, and you've got such a great touch, and you do moves that aren't supposed to be invisible, and you make them extremely invisible. When you do shows for laymen, like out in the real world, do you use this advanced sleight of hand, or are there situations where you would use that more? Or is your live show like full of difficult sleight of hand? Like, how do you balance that?
So when I'm performing close up, either in a social environment, at a bar, restaurant, whatever, out with friends, I do incorporate a lot of harder sleight of hand, and I do it more for me than for anybody else. It's not necessarily that harder sleight of hand performance-wise gives off more powerful performance or gets better reactions than doing simpler things, and we all know this. So I do it nowadays more for myself. I do a harder control, and because when we do things over and over and the same thing over and over for years on end, then we get a little bored. And maybe you've had this, and maybe the people watching in the chat have had this happen, where you're doing the same trick and you're like, oh, I'm doing the same trick again, and you're not feeling it, right? So I like to spice it up just for me. That's one. But I do think also there is a place for things like diagonal palm shift. We were talking about that earlier, Spidey. second deals, and how those can be incorporated into your very minimal performance. So again, we're using complicated sleight of hand or harder sleight of hand, but layering minimal and very simple to understand performances on top of that, which will ultimately bring a bigger effect, rather than, because the sleight is complicated, hard, and a lot goes into it, that means the effect also has to be complicated, hard, and there has to be all these phases and everything to confuse your spectators. So you got to distinguish that to begin with. So yes, I do involve a lot of sleight of hand. Like, I do diagonal palm shifts from the top all the time to palm off hearts. Like, it's a hard move to do. You might as well just do one more cut and then just cop it from the bottom. It's a much easier thing to do, but I just like to do it for me.
So you like to keep it spicy for yourself.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, what a testament to how much experience you have. You know, most of us are nervous about doing new things in our sets when we perform for people, and you're so bored with doing close-up magic that you're making it exciting for yourself by doing difficult sleight of hand, and that is such a great testament to like why you're the best at teaching sleight of hand, because you've just done it all for so freaking long that your hands are bored. You know, we never get bored of the performance, but your hands are getting bored, and you're like, I don't want to do the easy stuff.
Exactly, and that goes to the next level also, your performance as well, because if you should spice things up with your performance as well, and try to see how far you can push it with sleight of hand, with anything. See how far you can push it, and you'll get to a point where you're going to start like getting to that point where you're not going to know what to do next, or you've taken it too far and you've either messed up the trick or you've messed up what you were going to say, and then you start taking it to a whole different direction. That is all fine and good, because that is part of the experience. And to push it a little bit further and a little bit further, I do things that you wouldn't even believe. Like, you would look at me like I'm crazy, like my actual casual performances. But that just goes to show you, because then I go and then I reflect and I say, oh, I got away with this, and I got away. What else can I do? What else can I do? And this is how I started like doing a second deal, right? I started doing a second deal. I had a really bad second deal, and I started going like this, and I felt that people, like, they could see my second deal. So then I just told the spectator, I go, but no, you have to look into my eyes. Yes, because that's what, okay, I'm going to try to influence you. And he looked into my eyes, and I did the worst second deal ever. The spectator then, because they were so connected, like the spectator, right, was across from me, and I was so connected with the spectator, and we were going back and forth with this like epic stare down. All the spectators now stared at either the spectator or myself, and now I'm just doing this, and peripherally you have a second deal, which was horrible to begin with, but over the years it got better and better, and a tighter brief, etc. And now you can, that's how I push it, right?
Yeah. That's such a great, that's also such a great lesson of how you can work on your pattern to make the harder moves more invisible. Like and I think the best example of this is the classic pass. My classic pass, like if I did it for you, Alex, you would probably throw up. It's not, I don't pride myself on the invisibility of it when you're looking at it, but in context, I can make it invisible because it's casual. And even the top change, the top change is never meant to be invisible. I don't think anybody's top change is invisible. One of the best I've seen, yours is great, but I've also seen David Williamson's, which is probably the best one I've ever seen. But even in his case, it's not invisible. It's his attitude. It's his sort of casualness that makes it invisible. And, it's funny because laymen see a lot less than we think they see. Like, we're always like, oh my God, if I do this, they're going to see it. If I do that, they're going to see it. Laymen are so enveloped in the entire experience that they see a lot less than you think. And
let me give you an example about that, Spidey. I try to drill this point in a lot, especially with the classic pass, since you brought that up. The first time I ever saw the classic pass, the person did it for me about 10 times in a row. And each time was invisible. Literally, it was just like him holding the deck, okay? Now, years later, seeing the same person do that classic pass, I see it from a mile away. It's like me trying to do a classic pass with my left hand. Like, that's how it was. But before, when I did not know that this move existed, it was invisible to me.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show the blinders that spectators would have when doing it. So I always tell people, just be confident, do it in front of them. They're not going to see it.
Yeah, I was actually at a restaurant once with a friend of mine who was like a perfectionist when it comes to sleight of hand, like one of those guys who thinks about how many millimeters his pinky should move over. And I did my classic pass for him, and he goes, "There's no way you could do that for layman." I go, "Dude, what are you talking about? Of course, I do it all the time." And he goes, No, there's no way they would see it. And I call the waitress over and I go, "Watch." And I put a card in the middle. I do the classic pass, and I show it on top, and she loses it. And he's looking at her like, "Wait, you didn't see that?" And she's like, "No." And I go, look, I'll do it again. And I do it again, and it was bad. And I show her again, and he goes, "Oh my God, she's losing it." And he goes, he could not believe it. And I'm trying to tell him, like, listen to me. Laymen do not see as much as you think they see.
Yeah,
Alex, we're going to talk about. Sorry, go ahead.
One last point is I think that, and people don't do this. I have my own qualms with the magic industry. Is that all they want to do is just put out the next thing and sell you something, but nobody's actually even taking time to talk about these points and actually showing them. So I think would be really interesting. One of my plans for the future is actually going out, doing a really bad classic pass, right? Getting that angle and going through like the spectator's eyes, right? Of what they see, right? What the spectator sees and what us as the magicians we see, and then see because we always are used to seeing everything perfect, on camera.
Yeah.
But I think there is something to be said about that, exactly that, where we go, "Oh, that was such a horrible pass," and then we look at spectators' reaction, like you were saying at the restaurants, and then maybe that'll get to the people being like, "Oh, then my pass is not that bad," and give them more confidence in doing it.
Absolutely. Alex, I'm just gonna remove you and bring you back in because your audio is like cutting a little, and sometimes that's just it may or may not fix it. I'm just gonna do that, and then that sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, to your point, I totally agree. We're gonna talk about these cards in a sec, but I want to use one deck to show you something really quick. There's a lot of switches in Card College, which is one of my favorite books. There's a lot of switches that do things like, if you want to do a packet of 4 and you want to switch it for these, where you have someone pick 4 cards, suppose like this, and there's a lot of switches that I like and that I've used in the past where they take these 4 cards and you go, "Okay, these 4, you're sure we're just going to put them there." And as a magician, we look at that and we go, "What the hell was that? You put the cards on top, but the cards you gave them came from the bottom. Like, that doesn't make sense. That wouldn't fool anyone." But 100% of the time, you do that to laymen, they have no idea what's happening. As far as they're concerned, 4 cards were taken and then they were set down on the table. They don't follow things the way we do systematically. So when you do a switch, and Alex, I don't know if you use any of these, to where if you were to follow it really slowly, it wouldn't make any sense, to where they pick these and you say, "Okay, we'll put them down here. We'll come back to them later." And you force that because that's, that not one layman will have a catch. I know you do that on YouTube and you have 1,000 people going, "Oh, that's so obvious. You could never do that." And that's the voice of inexperience. What you see on YouTube,
and I think that's fine. I think the inexperience of what you're talking about, if they stick with it, will slowly go away.
100%. And also something you guys have to realize also, every now and then I'll do a tutorial and I'll do a performance, and somebody might say, "Oh, I saw that. I totally saw that." What you're seeing on YouTube on a camera screen is very different than what your laymen are seeing when you're in front of them, when you're misdirecting them with the words, when they don't know. You're watching a tutorial in this mindset where you're looking for a secret. They're not. So just don't worry about it.
We've all done it, Spidey. Like, I used to watch, like, let's say I used to watch like David Bliss special with my mom, right? And I was like 13 or 14 or whatever, very inexperienced. And I would say the same thing. I would see, and I would know what he did and be like, "Oh, I saw what he did over there," So I mean, we can't knock it too much.
We all go through that phase to where we're proud of what we saw, but you have to realize live performance and what we're seeing on a screen is very different. Alex, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes here to talk about these cards you've released, your luxury collection NOCs. You sent me these. I'm in love with these. I usually don't like foil or like reflective cards, but these are so elegant. They're even, my girlfriend, she's seen 1,000 decks come and go in the house, but the second she saw these, she was like, "Wow, like there's something about these." These are going to go live on Kickstarter very soon, right? They're not live yet.
Yeah. So
So
I'll plug it.
Hold on, I'm
really,
gonna give you the stage.
I'll plug it really quickly. I'll plug it really quick because then I want to get to something that you were talking about and then do the tutorial. But since you guys are here, might as well show you the decks. And I've been posting all over Instagram. Everybody knows this, and posting all week on YouTube about decks. I'll show you them just really quickly. There's 3 versions. This is the bronze edition, front and back. We got the silver baby right here. And of course the gold. Now these initially were going to come out during the summer, and we were going to link it up with the Summer Olympics.
Oh, cool.
And because obviously they didn't happen, it was okay then to push it back. And now and by the way, the cards are all foiled back if you didn't get that already. So they're very, very hard to show off these cards. Like even here, I'm trying to get the reflection, but to photograph these cards was a mess. Like you don't understand, like trying to photograph and try to get the right shine on it. So we ended up actually doing something interesting where we're going to put a moving image onto the Kickstarter. Anyway, so long story short, Kickstarter is going up Tuesday, November 24th. That is this Tuesday at 11 a.m. It's very important that if you do like the decks, go ahead, pledge early, because you're going to get an early bird special about it. The cards are fully marked. So this, I think that's the first, I was going to announce that tomorrow, but since we're here, the cards are fully marked. So we're taking a step forward into the marking system of the NOCs. Usually NOCs were just for suit, right? Clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, you could tell. But now, and we've had a few versions that were fully marked, but they weren't the best marking system. This one is much better. I can read the marking system within a few seconds, and I think that's the next leap forward. So,
and I want to show you guys, how, like, he says they're marked, but there's 2 kinds of markings. One is, you know, they're marked, you look for it, you could find it. The other marking system, which is a lot more rare, is you know they're marked, but and this is such a great example of that, you can't see. Like, there's no way for anyone to know what that marking is. Like, look at these. There's no, like, unless you know, there's no way anybody will suspect ever that these are marked, because they just look so innocent and so elegant. The feel is incredible. Also, guys, for those of you who don't know, if you're interested in these, I'm going to give you his handle now while it's there. Go follow him. But Alex's stuff goes really, really quick. So if you guys are interested in these, I'm assuming the Kickstarter campaign is going to go really, really well, because, I mean, Pandrea is known for probably the best quality cards on the market, you know, right up there next to Theory 11, and I think Shin has really good quality stuff too, but Orbit, obviously, but, you know, Alex is right there at the top. So I think these are going to go fast. My favorite deck, which you guys have seen me use a lot in the world, is from Alex, which is the these guys.
all right, nice.
This is the only brick of cards I've ever bought in my entire life.
Well, thank you.
So yeah, Alex's stuff is great. So Alex, we're going to do a tutorial now.
Yeah.
Really great move. But before we get to that, Alex, we have a tradition on the channel to where I tell people to go subscribe to your YouTube. And as they do that, they come back here and they comment that they did it. And I put those comments at the bottom, and you just say thank you to them by name. So by their first name or by their handle, like a personalized thank you. We can't do everyone, but we're going to try. So everyone go, you could see his name right there at the bottom, Alex Pandrea, right under his screen here on YouTube. Go give him a sub, Instagram as well. Then come back here and say I subbed or I've subscribed or whatever. Let us know. I'm going to put your comments up, and Alex is going to thank you by name. So here we go. We will begin. Oh, some are already subbed. So here we go. Alex, just rapid fire. You could just use our first names.
Naman, thank you. Davis 4200, thank you for the sub. Tom Gibbons already subbed. Well, thank you for that. Ansh Gill, I like that name. Ansh.
Ansh. There was oh, here you have, do you have someone who's been following you for 2 years?
Charcoal Johnson, thank you for following.
Who else do? Oh,
Melissa Brisson, subbed.
already subbed because Alex is the best.
James Joel, thank you, sir.
Dude, you have a lot of people who are already subbed because I send them to your channel all the time. Oh, here's a new one.
Joshua, I did it. All right.
Okay, we'll do one more. Here.
And Stefan, thank you for the sub. Stefan, you guys are great. I appreciate it.
We had
And
a,
like I said,
we had
if you
someone.
want all of that stuff is coming Tuesday, but do keep up because I'm putting more tutorials, and do obviously the best way to keep up to date with me is probably on Instagram. And yeah, so as long as you know that, before I get into the tutorial, I want to share 2 things based off of what you were talking about during this this stream. While you were showing everybody about the Axe body spray, I have some body spray here. I tried it on the back of one of these cards.
Whoa!
And I got a reveal on because of the foil. I guess it works really well, and because of the knocks, they're really just plain.
Oh my god!
So I just, with a Q-tip, I did it with I don't know if you, because you're doing it with a napkin, right?
Yeah, with a paper towel.
Yeah, so I just did it with a Q-tip. I sprayed the Q-tip, and then I started drawing on here.
That's incredible, guys. Look at that. So if you guys want to do more detailed work with the body spray, first of all, they work great on Alex's decks, and second of all, look at how detailed that looks. That looks really good.
And then the next thing that I want to show you before we get into the tutorial is just I was playing around with this. So I made a gaff off of your thing. So I'll show you guys here. So let's say they picked the 5 of diamonds, right?
Yep.
No, sorry, they picked the 4 of diamonds. So you go, oh, not the 5, right? And then you do this. You say, look, watch the 5.
Oh, wow.
And then you take it off.
Yeah.
To there. And then you go into the 4. But the idea behind this is twofold. So first, you want to do a paintbrush change. So if you know a paintbrush change, I like it because your thumb could go and just place it on here after doing the change, right?
Wow.
So then it doesn't look like you're doing anything until that last moment where you pull it off.
Yeah.
And then what you can do is do a top change. So you're here with the 5 and the missing pip, and then you just do a top change and then place it on their hand or on the table, even face up. And then when you leave it face up, you're doing 2 changes, but they're not visual, if that makes sense. Because I'm not a huge fan of something really quick and visual. I would rather, like, you're here, right, with the 5, with the indexed 5, and then do a top change while I'm talking. And
Wait,
then
hold on. After the paintbrush,
it's a 4.
But it's already a 4, or it's a 5 with a missing pip?
It's a 5 with the missing pip, but so you show this.
Yeah.
And as you're talking, you do a top change.
Where'd your 5 go?
You just do a top change.
Or where's your actual 5?
Oh, you just get so I have a duplicate.
Right. So I'm missing something because after the paintbrush change, the 5 is on top, no?
Yeah, so you do this. This is your setup. You go 5 of diamonds.
Yeah.
4 of diamonds, and then 5 with the missing pip.
Okay. So you're doing a triple. You start with a triple.
Yep. So you go triple, boom. All right. And then you do the move. So get that thumb right there.
Beautiful. Got it. I'm caught up. Okay.
Boom. Boom. And then they show the gimmick. They see it. You could even leave it here for a second, and then maybe I would just do this and then just place it face up on the table, and don't even call attention to this. Then what you could do is come back to the table and grab the pips, and then just do this. Like 1, 2, and now it's the 4.
Beautiful. Did you erase the diamond using body spray?
Yeah, I just did it when you were showing it. I just did it in the bathroom.
Isn't it incredible?
I did this and I did the other one too. So
isn't it incredible?
It's crazy.
I know. It's like, oh, you know what? I'm sorry, Alex. I promised so many subscribers. It totally skipped my mind that I was going to tell the story before we do your tutorial. I'm going to tell the story of how I discovered this, because the number one question I had on the video is, how the hell did I discover this? And I told people I was going to tell them on the stream. So I'm going to do that. Then we're going to do your tutorial for the day.
Yeah.
Because everyone,
I'm curious also, I would figure that there would be a way to erase ink off of the cards, but
so here's how it happened. First of all, I want to say, like, the reaction that I get for this, like, because exactly like you, when I told Spade he had a bottle, he happened to have a bottle on his table, pure coincidence, and he took it and he goes and he starts laughing like a hyena because he couldn't believe how easily it just wipes right off. So the way I discovered it is, I'll tell the story really quickly. I used to tour, I used to do shows in resorts down south. I used to spend my summer performing in the Caribbean and down south. And I was in Turks and Caicos one summer, and this was late night after a night at the bar. And I had a bunch of people who were hanging out in the room, and I started giving some sort of speech on anatomy. Don't ask me why. And I wanted to demonstrate. So I took an index card, because you guys know how much I use index cards in mentalism. I had one, and I put on the wall, and I had a Sharpie, and I was just talking, and I wasn't exactly the soberest I've been. And as I'm drawing, my Sharpie just goes off the paper and makes a big line of ink on the wall. And I'm freaking out because I'm like, housekeeping is going to come tomorrow, and there's going to be a problem. I'm trying to wipe it down, trying to use water, nothing's working. And I go, something has to work. And I see my Axe deodorant, and I go, that might have something on there. I don't know, alcohol or something. So I grab it and I spray it on the line of Sharpie, and it just melts. And when I say melts, it liquefies it. Like, I didn't even have to touch it. It just turned into like this black liquid. And I took a towel and I wiped it, and it was all gone, one wipe. And I'm like standing there like, can you imagine? It's like 3 a.m. Like, I'm like, whoa, oh my God. And I'm like, this has to have another use. I go, it just disintegrated the ink. So I'm looking for what else I can do. And I grab a playing card and I put on a Scott towel and I wipe, and the pip's coming off. And I am convinced somebody spiked my alcohol with something. I'm like, what am I witnessing here? And I was like, and obviously I fell asleep. And the next day I wake up and I look at the card and I go, oh my God, like, I discovered something here. So I started playing around with that, and that's how I discovered how to erase ink off of playing cards. And I'm very sorry for all those of you who are not of drinking age. I'm a really bad example and a bad role model, but that's the story. All right, Alex, so back to you. We have a really great tutorial today for a really cool move. Let's get to that.
So I was really impressed with all your guests, and watching Ben to begin with, when he dropped the cards. I want to mention two things about that will relate to this tutorial. One, right? You do it on purpose and be convincing, and to do it at that age, Ben, congratulations to Ben. That was amazing. But
Ben, sorry, I brought him in.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Ben, put that on your website. Alex Pandrea said you're amazing.
So, but here's what I want to point out, and what in performance, right? In performance, to use that to your advantage, you could do so much with it by I don't really have a name for it, but a sort of stutter in between what was supposed to happen in your performance, right? And then there's a natural break because something happens, and then using those points in your performance to your advantage, right? So just as an example, and Ben did a great job with the cards, right? Because I mean, I think everybody here on the chat was fooled with that. But I always like to do something like this, where I am here with a deck of cards, and then I look up, let's say we're at a bar or something, right? And I look off into nowhere, right? Because I think that when the bartender or waitress walks by or something like that, somebody wanted a drink or something, right? I'm making it up now as I go along. But somebody passes and I go, oh, did you want to order something? And now those breaks start becoming natural within your performance. And then the things that seem like off the cuff are really not. So that leads me into this tutorial that I want to show you guys. And I can't do this because I don't have a spectator, so it won't make sense performance-wise, but I will show you exactly
Alex,
what
that's
I mean
such a
by
great
all.
lesson. I hope you guys are listening to the lessons between the tutorials, because that's such a valuable lesson to use this situation or the environment as a misdirect. To be like, oh, did you want something? Or
Yeah, and hold on,
okay.
because my camera. Can you
And
still
that would-
see me?
No,
That
you
would-
vanished.
All right, hold on. I try to move my computer, and it came off. All right. 1 second. I'm back. All right, sorry. So can you see the table?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm not as prepared as Spidey is, like in his studio over there. But you can see this, yeah?
Yep.
So the idea behind this is to use these sort of things to your advantage, and I'll do the exposed view. So you ask the spectator, which is here on your left-hand side. You go, spectator, can you go say stop anytime you want, and you place the cards down, right? And then I turn my head away, so you're gonna just have to pretend that you see my face. I turn my head away.
To your right.
Go ahead, take a look at the card. So they take a look at the card, right? And then I say, go ahead, place it back. And while they place it back, I turn my head back and I go, oh, no, in the middle of the deck, so I don't see where it is. And then I leave it in the middle like this, right? So this is an in-action, natural sort of control where you're using a move and you're using the situation to do, basically, you're not even doing a control, you're just putting the card back in the middle. So it doesn't look like you're doing a control with cuts or with shuffles or whatever. But the breakdown of this is technically is all you're doing is this. Your cards go to the table. Then when they place the card back, you go, oh no, and then you go 2 fingers down to this deck. And when you do this, they look down here. And now you can come up and do a second deal. I do a push off second, and then I throw that card and I out jog it. So it's like this. And then I take the rest of the cards and I do this, but I do it in the action of saying, oh no, in the middle, so I don't know where it is. And that's how I use the mistake, right? And I hate to say that I put it on the spectators, right? I say, oh no, sorry. And I say sorry. So
sorry, yeah.
They don't feel like
I was unclear. Yeah.
Okay. So I do this. I turn my head away, and then look, watch what happens. When they place it back here, I turn my head back, and I see that they place it, because they're going to place it back, right? Listen to the pattern. Go ahead, take a look at it, show it to everybody, and just place it back. And you're turned away. So they're going to place it back where they got it.
Yeah.
Right? And then you turn back and you go, oh, no, sorry. And then you do this. So those are the
Alex,
oh, no, sorry.
You're not handing them the card. You're extending your hand for them to pick it up, right? That way, when you say put it back, it goes right back.
Exactly. And your head is turned the whole time.
Yeah.
So they see the card, and then, okay, go ahead, put it back. And now your head starts to come, and then you go, oh, no, I'm sorry. And then you do this. Oh, no, I'm sorry, in the middle, so I don't know where it is.
Yeah. Can you cover the push-off second deal, please? For those.
Yeah, so I could talk, obviously, about the push-off for a long time. I do have a whole video on it. But the tips on it are as follows. You want to straddle the deck, okay? Because especially for consecutive seconds, right? If you want to do consecutive seconds, you have to straddle the deck so that you can get one after another.
Jesus.
Seconds right there. So, boom. Right?
Those are all push-offs?
Yeah, all push-offs.
Whoa.
And so two tips. One tip is obviously to straddle so that they could be consecutive. And the second tip is to push over 3 cards, not 2. Because if you try to push over 2 perfectly, what happens is that, fine, you're going to get it, but now you're going to have to push over 2 again and again and again. So if you push over 2 and then another one comes out, then as you come back, look what happens. It squares up with that third one.
Yeesh. Oh my God.
Okay.
And then what? Now you come back and push 3 again.
And now all we're doing now, Spidey, is we're only pushing 1. So once it squares up with this, now you're just putting pressure to push over that third one.
Wow.
So this is a very exposed view, but that's the idea. Look, I'm pushing over now just 1 card, which is the third one, because these 2 are already together, if that makes sense.
Yep. There's a video on your channel that teaches this, right?
I don't have a second deal tutorial besides the one I have on my website. So,
all right, guys, if you want to learn the best second deal, which you just witnessed, check out his website. I'll leave a link.
But I do have tutorials on. I just put one on a very easy bottom deal. But also, what I wanted to mention is that I have a few about performance-wise how to use the second deal in effects, and I think on 2 or 3 videos, if I could remember correctly. So yeah, that's just what I want.
You know what? The bottom deal works here too, because if they say stop like this and you go take that card and put it back, and I mean I do it from mechanic grip, so I would have to have this in mechanic grip. But if they put it back there, I can easily just go no, I meant over here, and then you could do that.
So I don't even go that full into I don't even go that full into the aspect of oh no, sorry, like some sort of mistake was made. I just go, oh no, sorry, in the center. So I don't know where it is.
Yeah, great. So good. Yeah, that's such a great move. So again, guys, let me just do this. So
and so here's the thing about this as well that I think a lot of people have to understand. It's a very basic kind of thing. I'm just literally putting two things together along with a natural pacing of what could possibly happen during this scenario, right? Yeah. And I honestly have no idea how I came up with it, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was an actual mistake where I wanted them to put it there, you know?
Yeah.
And that happened.
It's Ben, what'd you think of that?
Actually, that's really awesome. I'm gonna use that.
I think we all need to. Ben, I'm gonna boot you now, but I'm glad you joined us for this, and I'm glad Alex enjoyed your work. Alex, that's a great point where you're saying to where sometimes we think of things from mistakes, and I'm gonna give a tip right now that I only talk about in my lectures. I didn't have the intention of talking about this, and for those few of you who understand how this can help, it's huge, I think. And Alex, you might enjoy this as well. So in my lecture, I say something which is exactly what you're talking about, and I think it makes any trick more impossible. And basically, it's like this. The theory is this. If you need something to be in a certain state, any state, like in this case, the state is it needs to be over here, make it seem like you just thought of that. So it's a little bit different than this. I'll give you an example. I do a trick with balled up pieces of paper, a mentalism trick where they're going to ball up a piece of paper, they're going to put it down, I'm going to do a shuttle pass, and I'm going to switch it for another one. So what I do is this. I used to say, okay, when you're done writing the word down on the paper, ball it up and set it down on the table. And then I take it and I do my shuttle pass while I'm looking for the little coin purse to put it in. But here's the thing with that. It looks so rehearsed, right? So it's like, take this, write it down, make it a ball, boom, boom, boom. Now I do it this way. I go, okay, when you're done, go ahead and fold up that paper. Actually, you know what? Go ahead and ball it up. I've never done it this way. Let's try it this way. So now in their heads, perceivably, if I were to switch it, they're a lot less suspicious because it seems like even I didn't know it was going to be balled up. You know what I mean? Or
yeah, exactly. And one thing that I advocate also is if you can make it seem like it was their idea or their intention to do something, even better, right?
So much better. So much better. Like if you say something like, go ahead and put it back. Oh, you want to put it in the middle? No problem. And you're ready for that because the card is forced. It's so much more impossible. So the same thing with a coin. So let's look at how simple this is. Any trick you do with a quarter, because there's a lot of tricks to do with quarters, you know, coin bite or the coin inside the bottle. These are all very popular tricks. But try this the next time. Instead of saying, does anybody have a quarter I could borrow? Say, who has change? Like maybe a dime or something. Actually, you know what? Let's try it with a quarter. So it looks like it just dawned on you right there and then. So when you bite that quarter, subconsciously in their heads, they go, he didn't even want a quarter. He was going to do this with a dime. So you go, who has some change? I need a dime. Pull out your, you have change? Pull out your change. Oh, you know what? Let me try this with a quarter. I've never done this with a quarter. And now you bite it. They go, what the hell is going on? He was going to do this with a dime. Like, so just scripting increases the impossibility of the trick.
It's very funny that you mentioned that because one thing that I do when I do a mismade bill, one of my favorite effects of all time is to do the mismade bill effect, where you take a $1 bill and you turn it into the 4/4 mismade bill. And you know, I used to say, you know, can you pull out a $1 bill? This only works with a $1 bill. And my my pattern for that would be, because it's the only, if you know American money, it's the only one that's old version, the 5, the 10, the 20, the 50, 100. They're all new versions of it, and it's just that's the only one. But then I switch my pattern to, if they pull out possibly a few dollars, whatever chances are, they're going to have ones in it, right? And then I go, oh, I've never done it with the one because it's the only one that is not the new version. So now I've switched up the pattern to make it seem more impossible from something that I always was already doing.
Absolutely. I love that.
So now it seems off the cuff, right?
100%. So that line of like, oh, I've never tried this before makes it look so much more impossible, because like it looks like this custom made thought you had in this very moment. So like, anything you do with borrowed objects, like let's say you have a trick with a key, for example, you could say something like, I'm going to show you guys something with a coin, or somebody put their keys on thing, go, I'm going to show you guys a really cool coin trick. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me try this with a key. Can I have your keys, or whatever it is? Like, make it like
do a coin trick. Oh, did you want me to do it with a key? Reach into their pocket. What?
No, not like that.
Very natural. Just do it naturally.
No, but you know what I mean, right? It's sort of like, if you make it seem like the idea just dawned on you right there and then, it looks so much better. I'm not suggesting you go, I'm going to show you guys a card trick. What's that, sir? You want me to do with your belt? And that's not what I'm saying. It's just sort of like, all right, guys, I'm going to show you something with this coin. Actually, let me try it with this. And you just grab something that they have, or whatever it is. That was your goal the entire time. But if you split it differently to make it look like it just dawned on you right now, I love doing things like this. And again, it's about pushing it where you suggest that they suggested something to the rest of the audience, especially when it's let's say it's a louder atmosphere, right? And you're sort of the middleman between the spectator who's on your left and the audience who's on your right, right? So then when you go ahead and they shuffle up the deck or whatever, and you have this sort of chit chat, how the spectators, they always have something to say, like here and there, right? But it's not enough. They're not vocalizing it enough for the rest of the audience to hear. You could take advantage of that and say, I'll just try to make it up. Oh, to make it go to the top, that's going to be impossible, right? So good. So
like,
good.
like
Yeah.
Little things.
Misinterpret what they say. I love that so much. Or like, or sometimes you ask them to think of a number and they say it, but nobody hears them say it. So then you could play with that. Or another line I love is, because the audience doesn't really have a great memory, is, let's say you have a stacked deck and you take the deck and you give it a couple of false shuffles yourself, and then you have the spectator cut. And so you say, go ahead and cut the cards, but they don't really, you say, go ahead and give it a cut. So they don't hear what you said there. So they give it a cut. One of my favorite lines is this. I go, the deck was shuffled and cut by you. And then they confirm that. But the audience hears the deck was shuffled and cut by you, but your spectator understands the deck was shuffled, period, and cut by you. So he confirms that. And I love doing things like that, where I'll very often do things like, let's say I'm going to do a missed call, right? Like with a book. So I'll open the page and I'll say page 32, and I quickly show it to them, but they don't see it. And it's just a missed call. I later have them confirm. I go, it was page 32 and you saw that. And they'll just go, yeah. Like, even if they didn't, sometimes you, when you're recapping, you add impossibility and you just have them confirm, like, yeah, like you say something like, and you said the 3 of diamonds, right? Maybe he didn't, maybe he picked it, but you change it.
Yeah. And to build in that confidence into the spectator, I always like to not pressure them into response, but like even with a slight little touch and a snap and say yes for them to confirm. So you're getting all these yeses, and it's a very common performance aspect, especially in mentalism, right? But you saw the 3 of diamonds in the middle, yes, and then you keep going, right? You don't let them sort of respond, but they're acknowledging everything you're saying.
Or exactly
with that.
In hypnosis, we call that a yes pattern. So you put them on this yes train. So you go like, for example, I do a trick that one of the best examples that comes to mind is I have a tattoo here of a 7 of spades, just the corner. And I do a trick where I start by saying, look, there's nothing in my hands. and I just do this. I go, there's nothing in my hands. I want you to remember that. And they basically say stop at a card, and whatever it is that you read a 7 of spades, and I take it out, I tear the corner, and I do this, and now it's on my skin and matches the card. And I'll always, before I do that, I go here and I pause and I go, now I showed you my wrist before I started. And they go, yeah, you did. I didn't, but it doesn't matter because, you know, I did this and I showed them my hands. But you just, by changing the words, you change their perception of what happened. And I think that's great. Another thing somebody said that I think is a good point. Oh, there it is. So Belima said, I like to play dumb when I'm performing. I think that's such a great tip. And one of the best places this comes in handy with is mentalism. And I'll tell you how I use this. I've been called by Magic Magazine a master of cold reading because in my At the Table live lecture, I had somebody write down something that I peeked. And then it seemed like I was pulling this information out of their mind. And everyone was convinced that I was reading his mind because what happened is he wrote down lightsaber. He was thinking of a lightsaber. And I said all these things about the details of it and all the color and the button and where it is and all this stuff. And I said how it represents bad, but all these different things. And then at the end, when it was time to reveal it, I said, I'm getting that it's something from Star Wars. I'm not really familiar with Star Wars very well. I don't really know. What's those things they use? The swords there, what are they? The laser swords? And he goes, lightsaber. I go, yeah, is that what you're thinking of? And he goes, yeah. And the big misconception there was people couldn't figure out how I knew all the details of a lightsaber when I know nothing about Star Wars. But the truth of the matter is I know a lot about Star Wars. I know everything about Star Wars. But when you claim ignorance and mentalism about a certain topic, and I use this so much. I live in a province that speaks French. Every now and then I'll have somebody write down something and I'll peek it and they wrote it down in French. I'll do the reading in English and then I'll say, so you're thinking of such and such. And I open the paper, I go, oh, you wrote in French. I'm sorry, what does that mean? Like, I don't even understand French, but I do. So when you claim that you don't understand, so, you know, you do a peek of something and you see that the person's thinking about something from the Marvel universe, for example, and I know everything there is to know, but then you claim that you don't know anything about that. So to them, it's like, well, how the hell did he know that Thor's hammer is called Mjolnir or whatever the hell it is? Because he doesn't know anything about that. So when you claim ignorance about a topic, but then you do this reveal in mentalism, it's so powerful. And I use that all the time. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I urge everybody to start adding these little things in to all your performances, and you'll have a much more exciting time for yourself performing. And then that ultimately will make you, I think, into a better performer when you start becoming comfortable with doing these little things on the fly, jazzing it up.
Yep. Well, this stream went a hell of a lot longer than I intended it to, but that's because Alex, you have so much wisdom. You are very wisdomous, I think is the correct word. So I can't thank you enough for taking the time. I know you had surgery on your eyes, so it's very painful for you to stare right into the light for this long. We're all very thankful for the wisdom you've dropped on the channel. I'll leave some links in the description, guys, when this is over. Please go subscribe to Alex's channel. You'd be doing yourself a giant favor. And Alex, I can't thank you enough. I hope these decks do well. I hope you guys all go and support him on Kickstarter because the quality of these are exceptional. So Alex, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. We're going to say goodbye right now, but stick around because I'm going to talk to you after the stream. But thank you times a million.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
So guys, that was it for the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a little long, but there was just so much good information that I didn't want to stop because there's so many lessons when we bring guys like this on the channel. So I want to thank Alex for his wisdom and his time. It means the world to me. We have a great tutorial coming next week. It's not something I perform for you guys, but it's a great virtual mentalism trick that you guys will be able to use whether you do shows for people virtually or to create content that will go viral. It's just one of those things that you do to the camera and it's going to go viral, I promise you. So that's coming next week. Great tutorial for a through the screen mentalism effect. Hope you guys are excited about that. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in. It was really great. Lots of fun. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.